What was it like to get your first win in the NFL?
Felt great. Felt great. I mean, winning in this league can be scarce at sometimes, and you just got to take advantage of any opportunity that you do get. I know I sound like a broken record, but opportunities in this league, man, comes very slim, and we had a lot of opportunities, but with the conditions that we had, it was a lot of the whole game plan had to change, and these guys on this team willed their way to a win.
What do you think about facing the Bears? What they bring on defense, guys like Urlacher.
Very talented defense. Very talented defense. I mean, those guys. Everybody know their reputation as far as being a very defensively sound team. Rushing the passer getting a good rush on the passer without even blitzing. They have not only just a solid defensive lineman, but guys that are game changers in defensive line. Urlacher and that whole linebacker core is extremely good at what they do, and just the whole defense as a whole, man. Those guys capitalize on every single thing, every mistake, and they really don't make a lot of mistakes, and it shows on film.
Yeah, you played in some tough environments in the SEC, but your thoughts on getting ready sort of for your first hostile pro environment on Sunday?
I'm looking forward to it. I know that, it's a lot of tradition and prestige at Soldier Field, and, I just can't wait.
How aware will you be where Julius Peppers is lined up, and how much have you guys talked about that?
Very aware. Very aware. I mean, Julius is a big human being, and, he scares people. He scares me also. But, I have faith in my offensive line that they get the job done.
Cam, you didn't play your best on Sunday, but still found a way to win. As you're missing a few throws and whatnot out there, just talk about fighting through it and finding a way. How proud were you with maybe not throwing the ball as accurately as you did the first 2 weeks? How proud you were of what happened?
Anytime you have a dub, win, in the win column, stats really doesn't matter. I'm all about the wins and try to decrease the losses. But, it wasn't about me with this team, and I think people really take a lot of things unnoticed as far as, a lot of guys stepping up on the defensive side of the ball. We had a lot of injuries. Those guys, picked up the shotgun and just kept shooting, man, kept pressing on. Even though we had a lot of excuses that we could have said, it was raining hard, a lot of injuries, but, those guys stuck to it and stuck to the game plan and believed in their coaches. Also on the offensive side, we didn't have the best statistical game that we've had, but we just found a way to win.
Coach Rivera said this isn't just another game for him. This is it's going to be a really emotional game for him going back to Chicago. How cool would it be to get that win?
It'd be very good that we can back our head coach and he wants this win. Just like every week he wants to win, but it's very personal for him. He's going to have a lot of emotions come Sunday, and we expect that. A guy that plays for an organization, coaches for an organization. He's not going to be cold-hearted to say, well, this is just another game, which is not. And we feel that passion that he has, and we want to go out there and play even harder.
Cam, what was it like going from, big-time college football in the SEC, but you got your first win, but it just seemed like, the transition to get that first win, how tough was it for you?
It just goes to show you how much, how much you have to value each possession and each win in this league, because looking back at each game that we've played, we've been in every single game that we've played. And, some people look at it as a big plus, but we look at it as if we had opportunities to win each game, let's not be able to look at we had opportunities to win. Let's just go and say we won that game, not saying that we had chances. And we just got to, make do to every single thing that we get and minimize the mistakes as much as possible, because even in those games that we lost, those are a lot of self-inflicted negatives. As far as taking ourselves out of field goal range, we had ample opportunities to put 6 points up on the board rather than just 3 points, and that changed the whole grand scheme of the game for offensive side of the ball, for the opposing team, and the defensive side of the ball.
Cam, how much does Rivera talk about that Bears team of 55 and in terms of building a team here and chemistry and all that stuff?
Oh, he talks about it a lot. He uses a lot of analogies as far as comparing. You know, he really doesn't compare this team to that team, of course. I mean, those guys was great. But it's just some characteristics that he says in that team he would like to see or resemble to some degree. You know, we know those guys had an unbelievable amount of talent on that team, and not just talent, just leadership. And those guys, more than anything, holding each other accountable. And it showed on game day as far as, you know, trusting that this particular person is going to be here, whether offensively or defensively. I know I could blitz on defense, and he's going to be right there. I don't have to question, or I don't have to, you know, go outside of my means to make a play when I know that if I do what's asked of me, this guy's going to do what he's asked of him.
Do you see any of those guys, whether it's Urlacher, Briggs, Pepper, slowing down?
Huh?
Because they're older.
Say what? What'd you say?
Guys like Urlacher or Peppers or Briggs, do you see any of those guys slowing down?
Oh man, slowing down, getting faster. I mean, you watch film, and one thing that's an edge for this defense, other than other defenses that we played, these guys have been together for a long time, and that whole, you know, they know what each other can do, and as far as you know, calls and they could trick the offense in a lot of different things. Like I said, they're veterans. They're very savvy at what they do. They show this particular defense, and they get out of it. And you know, they've been around this whole scheme for a long time. You know, I don't know what other thing to say, but they're not losing a step, I can tell you that.
Coach Meyer was on with us last week, and he said he was a little surprised at how quickly you picked up being an NFL quarterback. But he's not surprised because of your work ethic. Are you surprised at all how quickly you've become an NFL quarterback?
Come on, man. No, I'm not surprised. I think people get too caught up in what other people say, and what, as far as the analysts, sports analysts, I really don't buy into none of that. I don't really hear it. I mean, sometimes it's kind of obvious. You know, you can't watch SportsCenter or anything else. I mean, that's just the life as a professional athlete. People are gonna say things that you don't want to agree with, and sometimes, like I said, we're in a lose-lose situation that we can't defend ourselves. Each particular time that they say something, and you know, you try to say, "Oh, I'm not that type of person. I don't possess those type of attributes when it comes to the game. I can throw. I can do this. I study film. You know." But you just have to show it out there on the film. I mean, on the field when that opportunity comes. I think that's the only way that you can, you know, put socks in people's mouths.
Cam, how do you describe Jeremy Shockey, not as a player, but as an individual, as kind of a person?
Shock. I can tell you this. My stereotypical thoughts when we signed Shock, or me knowing that Shockey was going to be on this team, it was extremely different than what it is now. I think so many people, you know, not only Shock, but, you know, I think myself can fit in that ship sometimes, that people hear so much about how he is and this and this and that. But he's been an unbelievable person, unbelievable teammate just to be around and always helping. And that winning aspect comes, you know, because he's been in New Orleans where they won a championship. He's been in New York when they won a championship. And he brings that type of vibe, that winning vibe to this team, and expects everybody else to come on his level too.